Frank, I'm sorry, mate, for so many levels, but for this time I'm apologising for making you wait so long to join us in the conversation. How do you reflect on that final?
Well, we are frustrated. I would say that I am frustrated because, like, for 75 minutes, I saw nothing from our national team. Very disappointed. All credit to the Argentinian who played the game perfectly. I remember halftime, Didier Deschamps made an exclusive interview for French TV, and he said, well, there is one team who decided to play a World Cup final game, and us, we don't know what we are doing here yet. And then there is a disappointment. After that 70th minute or 75th minute, we saw a different team because of the crucial substitution of Didier Deschamps. And we saw something different starting from the penalty of Kylian Mbappe, and we were to craziness. Then we became disappointed because of the result. But overall, you have to accept the fact that Argentina deserved to win, because they did what they had to do, and they should have won easily if France didn't wake up, after 75 minutes, which is absolutely abnormal for me. You talked about the two situations at the end. There is also a counter-attack with a big foul and a yellow card from an Argentinian player, where if the referee didn't blow the whistle, it would have been a fantastic counter-attack as well, a possibility to score goals. But I think, before the game, people asked me, intimately what I was thinking about. I say, well, everything seems to be going to Lionel Messi, like it's a destiny. That guy deserved to win a World Cup because what he did in his career. So I wasn't feeling comfortable with France, and didn't know how to put it. But it's like everything was, and the world, the entire world, but France. I think we're dreaming about seeing Messi winning because what he did during his career, and it's just fair for him to have won that World Cup. So we are again frustrated, disappointed, but at the end of the day, you have to realize that for me, the best team won.
I think it was Cunha on Coman, Frank, you were talking about.
Yes, yeah, in the midfield.
Right, and Coman got to his feet really quickly. Yeah, he got to his feet really quickly. And obviously he's fast, but I think the referee had quickly gone to his whistle, not realising. I think there's a couple of little bits we could maybe pick out about the referee, but I thought in general, bearing in mind, World Cup final, how fast it was, I thought he was strong. So
World Cup final, we get to the penalty shootouts. Lionel Messi is walking down there, and he takes it like he's the coolest man.
By the way, he rolled it so slowly, I thought Lloris was actually going to be able to get to it.
It was incredible.
It was incredible. I mean, to be fair, Mbappe's penalties, Jules touched on it, to do that in any game, never mind the World Cup final, is amazing. But for Messi, I think Messi made his mind up probably. Did he miss one early in the tournament? I think he did.
Yeah. Chelsea made the save.
Right, when he went with power, I think he made his mind up that he was going to go the opposite tactic. Right. And we've seen that with him, where he's just decided, no, I've actually got more about me, more skill than the goalkeeper. So I'm going to wait, and I'm going to go up, and I'm going to keep my head up, and I'm going to wait to him.
It was a shootout against the Dutch, wasn't it, where he did exactly
the same? He did the exact same twice.
Yeah.
No, he might have went for power the second.
No, he went for power against Croatia in the semi-finals against Livakovic.
Did he?
And then in the shootout,
there's been that many penalties. I've run out.
Go on, Frank.
Have you realised that, guys, that the two best kicker for penalty shots, the first?
Exactly. And Neymar. Neymar's still waiting.
And like Neymar, and that's crazy about penalties, because we saw many times players shooting 2 penalties. Yeah. But Mbappe shoots 3 penalties. I've never seen that in my life. It's 3 on the same side. I mean, you have to have the guts to do it, because really, I thought I wanted to call Didier Deschamps, at the end of the game, say, please don't make Mbappe shooting the 3rd one, because it's so tricky. I mean, he will miss it. And Emiliano Martinez touched the ball, but he went on. He went in. So, okay, that's good. But the guy, remember, Jeff Hurst in 1966 was the last guy who scored an hat-trick. Yes. And Mbappe did it, and on top of it, scored a penalty on the penalty shootout. So, amazing.
And to the point of Lionel Messi and how he was taking the penalty kicks, it is worth repeating. The pressure, the moment, the anticipation, the expectations, the hopes of a nation, and this guy staring at the goalkeeper. I'm going to hold my nerve. You're going to dive out of the way. I'm telling you, you're going to dive out of the way, and I'm going to put it to the other side. Man, it takes, let me tell you something, it takes some fortitude to do it like that.
Fortitude is a very polite way of putting it, Ali.
Well, it's fortitude.
Well, honestly,
fortitude.
how many people were sitting going, I mean, I just thought Argentina had played so well. I went, it's gone.
That's it.
They'd made defensive changes.
Yeah.
They'd played the shutout card.
Yeah.
And France had played, were up the creek without a paddle card.
Yeah.
Right? So it was two ends of the spectrum. We're seeing the game out, tired. We're throwing the kitchen sink at it. And all of a sudden it's 2-2 and you're going, there's no way Argentina can, they need oxygen.
Yeah.
They need to get, they're done. They're absolutely done. I mean, it was just amazing.
And then, Shaq, it's all about Emi Martinez, again in a penalty shootout.
Yeah, but before I get to Martinez in the penalty shootout, just about Lionel Messi's penalty again, I'm looking at it through a different lens. I'm looking at it from the goalkeeper, and certainly the one in the first half, I am right behind Hugo Lloris. And I have pointed out how all tournament, and Hugo Lloris against Harry Kane, how goalkeepers have got the timing of that first move so right, which has enabled, we've seen so many saves this World Cup. Lionel Messi up against one of the most experienced goalkeepers in world football at a time where so many players do these ridiculous run-ups and trying to get the goalkeeper off their mark and mistime that first move. You have players who do the hop, skip, and a jump, or the hippity hop, as Ali calls it. Lionel Messi strolls up, times it to perfection, and almost waits on Hugo Lloris to make that move. And that is the difference between the quality of player and penalty taker that Lionel Messi is, and to some of the others, regardless of how good their records are, and it speaks to how good Lionel Messi is. Then come the penalty shootout, and as they go into the spot, they go to the Argentina fans, which all the Argentina fans start to cheer, because behind the other goals where the French or the majority of French fans were sat. So I wonder if that gave Argentina a little bit of a benefit, but those are the breaks. And then I wanted to see how, again, Hugo Lloris, one of the most experienced goalkeepers in world football, Emiliano Martinez, with everything at stake, with all that we've spoken about with Argentina and Lionel Messi, how they would cope. Messi steps up, he scores his. Mbappe steps up, he scores his. Then there's a save. And then the third penalty, which Tchouaméni goes to take for France. As he's walking up, Martinez has the ball in his hand. And I'm going to put this down as design from Martinez, just recognizing the moment, recognizing the player, a young player coming up to take a penalty in the biggest stage of world football. And Martinez throws the ball wide out to his right. Tchouaméni goes running after it to get it. In his experience would teach him differently, I'm sure. But just looking at Tchouaméni having to run some 15 yards to go grab the ball, to bring it back to the spot, I think Martinez put a marker down right there. Who's boss? Who's in control of this? So once I saw that, it did not surprise me at all to see Tchouaméni pull his penalty just wide. So we could talk about the saves, we could talk, I could go on and on about the timing of the first step, but sometimes those penalties are won or lost in moments well away from the kick itself.
Is he on double time tonight?
Shaq is loving.
Shaq, you're cramming 2 weeks in Qatar into one show.
And then
amazing.
And then really the celebration.
Let's just say I'm well rested. I'm well rested today, Craig.
I'm glad you get a ticket for that final anyway.
And then obviously all the celebrations focus around Lionel Messi, given all the stories going into this and every other World Cup with regards to him and Maradona. And what was just so good, just watching, well, there were two moments. I just thought the fact that he was just he wasn't even crying, didn't break down, just smiling. Just, you could just see how happy he was. And then the moment when he picked up the Player of the Tournament award and kissed the World Cup, it was like for the first time he can actually accept that, yes, you're a World Cup winner. I thought those were two brilliant moments.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the game it was just relief because the pendulum had swung so much. And I'm sure even himself, the great man himself, thought it was looking around at his teammates, thought, we're screwed here, we're all tired, and he was knackered, and he'd played a lot of football himself as a guy in his mid-30s. And so I think it was just relief, and the only disappointing thing for me was having that muppet Gianni Infantino hobbling about like a bad smell at the end of it. And then they draped this sort of cape on him, when you just wanted him to be left along with his teammates, to lift this World Cup purely in his Argentinian strip and let that iconic photograph go alongside the other greats of South American football. And here we had the hanger-on dressed up in his sneakers hovering around. That was, to me, I was like screaming at the TV, get out of here! Give the man the moment that he's been waiting for. I'm sure he's not thinking too much about it, but everybody else watching, I think, was thinking the same thing. For God's sake, man, get out of the picture and let this team celebrate.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.